nakukuha ng China? Well, unang nakukuha niya is to keep the United States away. At least, malayo. Why? Why does China want to keep the United States away? Especially from the South China Sea. Kasi, for China, the South China Sea is its source of vulnerability. Ang mga gera na nangyari laban sa China happened in the South China Sea because it has weak navy before. Ngayon, nakita niya, nung nagkagera dyan sa South China Sea, bumagsak ang kanyang ekonomiya. So ano nakukuha niya sa atin? By keeping United States away, the country that has the capacity to disturb the trade in the South China Sea. Diba? United States. So by keeping the United States at bay, nakakaroon siya ng mas malaking leeway in order to keep its country safer. Especially protect the trade. Kasi walang, the energy, kasi oil, kasi marami dyan sa oil and some natural gas. China is now transitioning into a renewable energy based economy. Sila ang pinakamalaking source ng rare earth na kailangan sa renewable energy. So there will come a time that the oil there will not matter anymore to China. So what's the only thing that matters to China? China doesn't think in short-term history. Why? Kasi China has a long history. It thinks in the long term as well. Diba? It thinks in terms of 100 years. Let's say, maliit pa nga yung 100 years. Diba? Considering China's history. So it thinks na ano mangyayari within those 100 years. Papaano kami matitira ng kalaban? Ano nga yung slides? I'm gonna explain this. Hindi ko na-explain kanina. Pero it's good, Josh, when I ask the question. Can you go to previous slides? Yung may mapa. Ito na yung geopolitics chart. Okay, balik po tayo. Okay. Hindi lang China ang kalaban natin dito, ha? Kalaban din natin ang Vietnam. Let me just remind you. Kalaban mo rin ang Brunei, Malaysia, Taiwan. So, I'm gonna give you an example. China and Vietnam. China and Vietnam have been killing each other for a long time. Long time. Itong mga isla dito, nag-aaway sila dyan before, yung parcels. Sa South China, dito sa Spratlys, ang pinakamaraming military installations, Vietnam. Saan dumadaan ang trade papuntang China? Dito banda or dito banda? So left or right? Left. Dahil ito, this area is not really passable. So historically, all the trade goes through here. So kalaban ko ang Vietnam. Kung imbiyerna ako sa China, ano pwede kong gawin? Lahat ng military installations ng Vietnam ay nandito. Anong gagawin ko pag gusto kong, may diplomatic negotiations ako sa China, gusto kong mambraso? Anong gagawin ko? Naku, magba-blockade ako. Pak! Anong mangyayari sa China? Mag-ano? Babagsak ang kanyang ekonomiya kasi the economy of China depends on the South China Sea. It's a maritime dependent economy. Without the sea, China will collapse. Anything that happened in the sea that disturbed the trade, China will collapse 100%. So, para ma-counter ko ang any danger dito, anong kailangan kong gawin? Kailangan ko ng presensya dito. Para kung may mangyari dito, I can easily defend this trade route. That's what China wants. China doesn't want the oil. Ano niya yan? Diba? Aanin mo ang oil kung ang trade routes mo ay hindi safe. So that's the only reason kung bakit galit ang China tuwing may pupunta diyang United States. Kasi if United States would like to have the upper hand in a diplomatic negotiation against China, punta ako ng Navy, magsisend ako ng Navy dyan, mananakot ako. And that it happens. That's how you do it. So that's what China gains from us. Kaya malaki yung panliligaw niya sa atin because it would like na, the trade route would be safe. Kasi it's better, kasi may triangular relationship din tayo, Vietnam, China, Philippines. We're the weakest. Di ba? Pero mas maganda ang relationship ng Vietnam ngayon at China because there's another factor. Because Vietnam is closer to China, and the closest enemy, you have to appease it more. Because it has the capacity to really kill you. Kaya ang Vietnam at China, kahit nagpapatayan yan, their trade relationship is really, really flourishing. So it's a very complicated world. Diba? And you can only think about this if you develop a strategic consciousness. So that's what China gains from us. So how do we develop more capacity to gain? Paano tayo mag-gain more? Na, halimbawa, 2 lang yung tayo meron ngayon, tas 5 lang yung... So you develop your trade relationship with... Ito sinasabi ko, gusto nyo talaga makuha lahat. Di ba? Gusto nyo makuha lahat. O, di makipag-trade relationship ko sa China. Payamanin mo yung Pilipinas. Develop your navy. Nakatulad sa Singapore. Mag-acquire ka ng kung ano-anong weapon, kahit nuclear weapons. Then, at the time na gusto mo na siyang makuha, hindi na lang 5 yung makukuha mo. You can maybe acquire 7. Pero you can only do that if you have the power. Hindi ka pupunta sa kahit anong korte, walang magagawa yung korte. Anong gagawin ng, may kapangyarihan ba yung korte para tutukan ng baril yung China at ibigay sa iyo yung 10? Wala. So that's how you do it. So, may kasabihan tayo sa Tagalog. Habang maigsi ang kumot, mamaluktot. Ngayon, kailan ka hindi mamamaluktot? Kung mahaba na yung kumot. Para magkaroon ka ng mahabang kumot, kailangan may pambili ka ng mahabang kumot. Huwag na munang mag-ambisyon na kailangan, baka ma-achieve mo ang 10 na kagandahan. Kung 5 lang yung pwede. Sa ngayon. Kasi, I'm gonna give you an example. Crimea. You know Crimea, right? Crimea was part of the Russian Empire. Nawala sa Russia. Nakita mo ba ang Russia na, oh my God, hindi natin siya makukuha ulit. Ano nangyari ngayon? Nakuha niya ang Crimea without a bloodshed. You have to wait. Not everything can be achieved in this lifetime. Kung gusto pa rin nila na, kailangan talaga makuha natin yan lahat, develop your weapons para pag, amin to, tutukan mo sila ng weapons mo. Sabi ako, naintindihan ko sa inyo yan. Diba? Ganun lang naman yan. Next question.
So, good evening po, Ma'am Sass. I'm an avid fan po of yours. And,
ano pangalan mo, te?
Kathleen Sunyo po from SPC. I would like, before I ask my question, I would like to express my deep gratitude po for being a voice of reason and defending the works of President Duterte po. In the midst of, since the mainstream media seems to love painting him as a dictator and the second coming of Marcos. But so, my question is, with the recent event of ASEAN, President Trump seems to trying to establish a good relationship with President Duterte. Do you think this will affect the dynamics of the Philippines that wants to establish with China and Russia?
I think it will affect, my prediction, it will affect na mas liligawan ka ng isa. Kasi, sabi ko sa'yo, hindi aalis ang China dyan sa South China Sea. Kahit patayin mo silang 2 billion people, hindi yan aalis dyan, magkakamatayan kayo. So anything that would pose danger dyan, it would, sa kanyang economy, that's the heart of their economy. Can you imagine? Your enemy is in the heart of your economy. So, ang gagawin niya ng China, the strategic thing to do is to keep deepening your relationship with the Philippines. Kasi pag iniwanan ka niya, bukas si Lenin ang presidente. Charot. O, di ba? Babalik yung babalik yung anti-Chinese na mas lalo siyang maano. Kaya, ang gagawin ng China, it would deepen. Parang ganito yan, Japan, China, Philippines. Ang Japan may interest din sa South China Sea. Why? Dahil ang Japan wala siyang source of energy. Nag-aangkat siya ng langis sa Middle East. So saan dumadaan ang mga langis na papunta ng Japan? So pag nag-away ang China at Japan, anong gagawin ko kung ako ang China? Naval blockade. Bagsak. So anong ginagawa ngayon ng Japan? Sino ngayon ang nililigawan niya? Name a country. Hindi pa Pilipinas. Sino? Sige, Philippines and isa pang bansa. Russia. Russia. Diba? Vietnam din nililigawan niya. Russia. Bakit nililigawan yung Russia? Kasi kailangan niya ng other sources of energy. Diba? Habang ginagawa niya yan, nililigawan ng Japan ng Russia. Siyempre, naiimbyer na ang United States. Bakit ito nililigawan ng Russia? Kaaway ko to. Mortal ko nakaaway to. Diba nung nangyari ngayong Crimea, ang Japan? Caps. Caps lang ang Japan nung nangyari yung Crimea. O, ganyan talaga, gaguhan talaga ang international relations. Kung hindi ka gago, hindi ka magtatagumpay. Buti na lang si Duterte ang presidente. Kasi you have to play it dirty. Wala namang bansang naglalaro ng play safe sa international relations. So, kinakaibigan din ng Japan ang Philippines. Bakit? Siyempre gusto niya naman na, kung wala akong friendly nation sa South China Sea, paano kung naggera kami? Saan nadadaan ang ang mga langis? Diba? Pero magbabago ng dynamics kasi magsiship na sa natural gas ang Japan. Russia yung magiging supplier. So ganun yung eksena, di ba? Hindi naman magtatampo ang China, walang ganon. hindi siya, the relationship of states, hindi siya katulad ng, in a way, katulad siya relation ng dalawang tao, pero hindi siya ganon. Na, oh my God, nagiging close ka na sa kanya, magtatampo ako at hindi na kita kakausapin. No. States think strategically. So pag nakita kita na lumalapit ka na dun sa enemy ko, na possible na maging sanhi ng aking downfall, palalapitin kita lalo sa akin. That's how I see it. Next.
So, follow-up question, una yung sa answer mo kanina, thank you for that answer. Pero, yung tulad nung sabi mo sa end ng iyong presentation, we have a problem with the continuity. My question is, what are the actions being taken to ensure the continuity?
Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam. Pero ang kasi niyan, vote officials who think strategically. Diba? Hindi yung puro dada. Hindi yung mga purong poverty is the greatest reason for... Wag mga wag mga leli, ha? Wag yung mga leling, poverty is the greatest reason why people are suffering. Wag mga ganyan. Wag mga ganyan. Diba? Vote people who could think strategically. Pero you can only know na they are thinking strategically if you are thinking strategically yourself. Pero hindi ka talaga alam kung anong ginagawa to ensure the continuity.